Aleksandr Kiselev says, "Hello, Abe. I'm currently in a situation where I finished my portfolio, graduating from uni, and now I'm actually looking for a job. I like creating 3D concept art, and I'm especially drawn to stylized mechs, mostly inspired by styles like Arcane and Deadlock. Looking at my work, I feel like it lacks a certain level of artistry or polish. At the same time, people who are already working in the industry suggest that I should focus on something more specific, like creating game-ready assets and demonstrating technical skills. Just a bit more straightforward. What would you recommend? Let's take a look." Interesting. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the first read here, my friend, because it's an important one. Barisoki, yes, I'll do that. I'll do that today. I'll keep the stream for a couple of hours, so that if you're watching right now, you can finish watching it. But remember, we remove the stream from YouTube, and we upload each individual portfolio review to our second channel to give everyone a little bit more of a specific, spotlight, so that everyone can watch just the artist. So, Aleksandr, the problem that I see here is, and I get you, I'm probably guessing that you've gotten this feedback before. I don't understand the niche that you would feel. This is very important. When you watch or when you see someone's portfolio, it should be very obvious or very clear how that person could fit into a pipeline, into your studio. So if I'm filling roles in my studio and I see this portfolio, I don't immediately know how you can help me, right? And that's problematic because it's complicated. Like, I want to find a spot for you, but I don't know what that spot might be. So, for instance, I really like this fish tank or submarine thingy. Looks pretty cool. It's a good element. I like the fact that you rigged it. I don't love the presentation. We've talked about presentation extensively today. I don't love this presentation. I feel like it's a little bit too, I don't know, washed out. Like the rocks on the back and everything. It just doesn't look as professional as it could. I personally avoid this backgrounds here. Here, I'm gonna give you a quick example. So when I'm doing let's see if I can. Let's see if we can make this work. Let's see if Photoshop can find the object. Yes, okay, it did a relatively good job. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Actually, I'm just gonna do a layer via cut. There you go. So what I like to do, if I like to add a background, is I always grab the background and just make it darker. Here. So I have a black background at the very end, and then the actual background, and then I just make this darker, like this. So that allows you to have a little bit of the information there, but focus more on the character. And you always want this thing to be the brightest, right? We really want to make sure that people appreciate and see the important part of our elements. So more contrast like this, it's better to read the wireframe, because right now the intensity of the blue and on the lines, it's distracting me from really appreciating the wireframe. This doesn't precisely look like a game-ready element because it's very heavy. Yeah, look at this. This is... Yeah, I mean, it can work. 272k for a game could definitely work. How many units are you using? 4 units feels a little bit low for something this big, to be honest. So this one, I think it's a strong project. I just think your presentation is holding you back, and I would definitely try to add a little bit more visual interest to the texturing side of things. Maybe change some of the paneling so that not everything is completely yellow. I would go for some white and for some black, some different things. Maybe some metal bits showing a little bit more, because right now it just feels. I actually didn't think there was enough textures. I thought it was just materials from the engine. So I'll probably work on that. This is a strong project, Aleksandr. I like that one. And it shows some good modeling skills. And then you get stuff like this, which again feels a little bit weird, man. I understand what you're going for. It is based on a concept. How close did you get to the concept? I think you were fairly close, to be honest. It's not a concept that I would pick, to be honest, but that's just personal preference. Again, I like the fact that you're rigging things. Yeah, I think presentation is holding you back, man. I think these renders that you're doing here inside of the engine are not, because this render looks very nice. This render I like. Same for this one, but this one's right here, with the bloom and this painted things and the deer, I don't think this is a good one. And we just talked about this, right? When you are going into ArtStation, you see this thumbnail. Originally, I didn't even think this was 3D. Kind of looked like it's just a concept art, and not the best concept art at all. So let's work on our presentation a little bit more here. for your models. This one again, like, you have a really good model. It's just this doesn't look good, man. The thumbnail is not helping you. The model is fine. The rig is great. Even the optimization here is like quite nice, to be honest. 200k triangles for this huge thing with all of the pipes and the elements. This is good. Your texturing process seems to be good as well. It's just I think you're trying to do too much, Aleksandr. I think you're trying to do the whole pipeline, like even with compositing and rendering and everything, and that's like backfiring, to be honest. So if you want to be a mech designer, just stick right now to designing the mechs. Like, do the high polys, the low polys for games, right? Like this pipeline right here, because I think that's your strongest point. Yeah. I'm really not. I'm not sure how else to say this, man. Your hard surface skills are really good. Keep at it. But your rendering skills, if you want to be a rendering artist, you definitely need to improve the rendering. Like this does not look good. Like those like leaf thingies and then these characters right here, I don't like it. But I like the model. The model looks really interesting. Like this amphibian sort of like tank looks very, very interesting. It's just that I don't feel like we're really nailing the rendering side of things. You can check the rendering workshop that I've mentioned before. It's going to help a little bit, but it has more to do with the texturing side of things. Yeah, like look at this, man. This is amazing. So 2 things that I would recommend. Let's get better at texturing. Like we need to add more visual interest on the texturing side of things, and definitely presentation, man. Like this renders, if you're not an environment artist, do not do a full environment. Look for an environment artist. Like we have plenty of them today, and say, hey, let's collaborate. I'll do the big thing. You do the beach, you do the rocks, you do the palm trees, whatever. And now you have a bigger and stronger like situation. It seems to me like you want to be a hard surface artist for games because you're optimizing these things, and this is a great optimization, believe me. Like I'm totally fine with this thing being 500,000 polygons. That's perfect because it has so many pieces. But we need to really work on the textures. For instance, one more thing I can tell you about the textures for this guy right here, because of the size, you're probably gonna have like 22k maps, and that's fine because we want to be able to see every single detail for the element. This is where textile density comes into play. For instance, here I can see that you use 10 of them, and one of them is a character, and like this straps right here, no, like you can go really, really high in texturing for this whole thing, okay? Because yeah, look at the size of this thing. This is huge. So the 2 main areas that I would focus in your specific case, Aleksandr, texturing and presentation. I think those are going to give you the best ROI, the return of investment, right? Like the time that you invest in learning how to properly texturize all of these things and present them is going to help you quite a bit.